Hiya guys, Nigel here. Welcome to Nigel's Modelling Bench, and I've got another review for you. This is a little bit different. My last couple of videos I have talked about Steve over at Motty's Military Models. I'll put a link to his channel down in the comments down below. So basically he's running a group build on YouTube and on Facebook of IDF tanks, or just anything IDF, I believe. And I actually do like IDF stuff. I like the colours, I like the fact that they use other people's equipment and modify it to hell. I love all the Tyran tank, or Tyran tanks should I say. I love all those. This one in particular, the Magach 6B, is basically, this is the top of the road for the 6. After this they sort of went on to the 7. But this is basically based on a M60 chassis, an American tank, and they sort of just kept adding and adding and adding to it. So you've got the Magach, the 1, 2, 3, 4 and I believe 5 are based on the M48, and then the 6 came along based on the M60. The original 6 has the standard sort of looking turret covered in ERA armour, which is all the blocks, which looks fantastic. I've got that kit, the Dragon version of it. Don't buy it, it's awful. It is the most, well, it's not the most inaccurate kit on the planet, but it must be close to it. It's awful. The hull shape's wrong, the cupola's wrong, the mantlet's wrong. It's just awful. It's nothing like the real thing. So stay away from that one. It's also very expensive. I'm sure they've already brought out the Magach 6B Meng. This is with all the armour, the big turret with all the blocks on it. So I'm sure they're going to bring out a Magach 6 with the standard shaped turret. So this one, I've had a quick look through the box, looks great. Now on the box here you can see there's a price here, Antics $64.99. It is currently $17.43 on the 5th of February 2020. Antics have one left and they're doing them for $39.99. And that is the cheapest price I could see anywhere. So I rushed over there, picked one up, and yeah, they've got one left. So as of now. So without further ado, let's have a look at this around the box and stuff. So we can see it's saying up here the usual stuff. This is not a toy. It's Tyrannosaurus series TS040. It's got movable suspension and workable tracks and track assembly jigger included. Hatches are movable, interior not included. Clear light and periscope parts are included. The mantlet canvas cover is designed by Digital Sculpting, and fine PE parts are included. The mantlet cover and the mantlet cover, there's also a this part here, the concertina bit, that's also vinyl as well, and it does look very, very good. So yeah, really, really nice. So looking around the box, you can see we've got the colour callouts here from AK, and then we've got our version here, which is the 9th Gal Battalion, 401st Brigade IDF in the centre of the Samaria region, August 1998. Basically, these tanks were originally their sort of main battle tanks, and then as the Merkavas come on, these have kind of moved back into sort of less important duties. This one again, we've got August 1998, and we've got some history about it there, and that's just telling you basically what I've just told you, really. So yeah, 2018 kit. I thought it was brand new. I'd never heard of it before. Something that did shock me, you can see this on here. You can actually buy this from Meng as a resin add-on, and it's like 50 quid. It's like, what? Ridiculous. So I'll have a quick look through the box, and then I'll get the instructions out. I think there's 17 sprues, all pretty much individually bagged, except for where there's doubles there. We've got 2 in 1. And if we look at the hull, really, really accurate looking shape wise. This area here looks good. This area here where it sort of blends in is good. It's all sort of cast and then welded together, and to me it looks very good. I actually remodeled the hull on the Dragon kit because it's a mess in this area. Absolutely, the front of it is totally wrong. I then realised the rest of it was all wrong as well. So yeah, probably just a spares box kit really. And then we've got the turret moulding here, which looks very nice, very large. And then we've got just basically going through the sprues, you can see here, all individually bagged, or as I say, 2 up. Got some very, very fine parts going through, some lovely grills there, and then we've got here the good old tracks with all the pins along the top, you can see there. So yeah, there we go. I'll get the instructions out and we'll have a look through the instructions. Whether I'm going to look closely through the sprues or not, I don't know, because I'm going to be building this online. We'll have a look. So nice sort of matte booklet, which is fairly small, 28 pages, including the paint callouts. I mean, as I say, we've only got the Meng and the Acrovision there, so we'll have to do some cross-referencing. But here we've got this cyanide grey. That is the Model Air 71142 cyanide grey, and I think basically that's going to be like this one here, which I've got there, which is XF49 and XF20, so we'll see. As I say, you have to be careful about the period the colours you're using, but you will get people that tell you you're wrong because it should be faded by the sun and all that. So it's giving you some details down here on the history and everything about it. Oh, the other thing I meant to say, this kit has been developed in conjunction with these guys. This is Desert Eagle Publishing. Michael Mass is kind of the Western world's go-to for IDF equipment, so they've made this kit with him in the background, so it should be pretty much accurate and correct. I'm not sure of any errors that are on here. If you know of any, please tell me before I start building it. So we've got the basic Meng advertising their tools and stuff, and then we're going straight in. We're starting up with the sprockets. Now notice this is a 3-part sprocket, so where that's glued together there, you're going to probably have to do some filler work where that seam is, where this part joins the back of that one. Then we've got our return rollers here, road wheels there, we've got poly caps, which is great to see, means we can put them on, get our tracks right and everything, and take it all apart to paint it. Adding these blocks into the bottom of the hull, these are going to be the supports for our torsion bars going in, because this has got workable suspension. Then we've got these are kind of our bump stop, shock absorbers, whatever you want to call them, and then we've got some spindles going in here. This part here is telling us that we've got to put it on a certain angle, make sure we get the angle right on it, and then we've got a colour call out for painting the actual engraving on or the raised numbers on the side of the hull. I don't really think you're going to be at that stage yet, but it's basically telling us there that we have to paint those matte white, and the area around it's matte black. So I don't know why we're doing that already. Adding on the gearbox drive hubs and everything there. Then over the page, building up our torsion bars with our radius arms, and some are going to have the actual shock absorber arms on them. Adding those in. Be careful not to mix them up. We'll go through that when we build it. It's the same as the Meng book I'm building. You've got all these different types of torsion bars. You've got to make sure you don't get them mixed up. And then we're adding all this in, adding some shock absorbers in, and then we're going to put our wheels on with our poly caps, drilling some holes here, removing some raised detail, and then we're going to add this pivot in here. This is for our opening hatches, which is a bit of a gimmick because there's no interior, but you could have it opening and make it easier for painting and getting a nice sort of seam around the edge rather than having it glued down. Then we're adding our periscope detail, adding the top of the hull. I love this part of the M60 where the engine cover comes. It kind of almost looks sort of beautifully designed and artistic, I think, in that area. And then we're adding all these big grills down the side of it, which are real big chunky heavy things. None of these fine mesh like you get on the T54s and T55s. It's great big thick chunky mesh, or grills, not mesh. Belly armour going on here, which is it's going to be obviously an Israeli edition. And then we've got some towing eyes going in here. Starting to work on our fenders with some towing boxes. We've got a fire extinguisher or something going on there. Spare track links at the back, telling us to drill some holes. And then again on the other side, adding our shovel, bits and pieces going on there. Adding the fenders to the side, and then we're adding our armour to our glacis plate there. Remember, we've got our little eyelets to go around there, so make sure you get plenty of paint, or get some paint in around there before you put that down. to make sure that you don't end up with any bare plastic. And then it's showing you how these little trim pieces go in there. They're obviously mounting the front of the fenders on in reality. Then we're going to add the external communications box there by the look of it. And then we've got lights going in with light guards, front mud flaps going in. We've got ropes here and cables. They're actually moulded again, which I actually like. I'd rather have this than trying to make rope from something else that isn't rope. The trumpeter system seems to work well for me, but using string is not good. Making up our track links here, we've got 101 track links per side, so we've got to make up 202 track links. I think these are actually Merkava tracks on the 6B, so we'll look at that later. And then we've got the armour going on the side. I'm not sure if there's chains to be added and stuff, we'll have a look at that as well. Then we've got the other side, adding the armour onto the side. We're starting on the turret here, so we've got our simple gun mount there, so there's no sort of breech detail or anything inside the turret, so you may as well just have all the hatches closed, even though you're able to have them openable. Parts going on the side here. Here's our mantlet with the lifting eyes on there. Drilling out some holes in the top of the turret, so obviously there's some other variants coming. Well, there's one already with us with the ERA armour around the outside. Adding on this lovely vinyl here, which I'll show you in a minute. We will go through the sprues. And then we've got a vent tube going up there. Smoke grenades going on there. Excuse me. And then we've got some more smoke grenades going on the back there. Adding on the armour, which gives it that real sort of chunky and sort of... It was, to me it looks like sort of like something out of Star Wars with the chunky armour all over it. And then we've got the flat armour going on the top. Building up our cupola, which is really, really nice. Not sure about accuracy, but I'm guessing it's probably going to be good if Mr. Man was involved. And then we're adding on our armour on the other side of the turret. A couple of toolboxes and stuff going on the top there. And then we've got our ammo boxes here and some other greeblies and bits and pieces and some grills there. Not quite sure what they are. I'll have to check my references. Fuel tank or water tank going on the back. And then we've got some other greeblies. This is some sort of bracket for something or other. I'm not sure what that's going to be for. Then we've got our basket going on the back. Photo etch base in it, which is nice. And then all this is very finely moulded. Little tiny brackets and stuff there. And then put on the back of the turret, add some more ropes, which is actually made from string, which is unfortunate. And then we've got our two-piece barrel here, so glue the two halves together, do some sanding, and don't buy an aluminium barrel, make this one work. And then we're going to add the armour protection over the top of the mantlet there. Machine gun going on the top. Now, I'm not sure if this one's got, yeah, it's got the two machine guns, so one's going to be automatic, and then one's going up there for the commander to use, or the gunner, or whatever he's called. And then we've got the commander loader's gunner, and then this is the this one's operated via a cable or something inside. So there's 3 guns there. I'm not sure if we're going to use all 3 or if it's an option. Yes, we have all 3. So I thought maybe it would be option A and B would have different sides, but there we go. I missed that when I was looking through it earlier, I'm sorry. And then at the back here we've got our sprue callouts, all numbered if you've got a magnifying glass, and we can see we've got they're calling it cable, it's just a piece of string. And we've got our clear parts around here, there, and some other, this is our vinyl parts there, and then turret, hull, photo etch, and our lovely tracks. So there we go, and back to the paint callouts at the end. So I'll get these bags open and then we'll have a look at these sprues. Right, so I've just opened all the bags and I can assure you there is a lot of plastic in this kit, and for $39.99 it's a bargain and it looks bloody lovely. Okay, so obviously poly caps there, standard Meng poly caps for our for gluing our wheels together and everything, or fitting our wheels. I'm just going to do a quick check live on camera because you have to be a little bit careful sometimes. Will this be affected by liquid cement? The way to tell is when you put your brush on, if it does get affected, your brush will turn black, and it's not. So you can go on and put them in and slap your glue on and make sure your wheels are glued together well. But sometimes you have to be a little bit careful. Some poly caps are affected by these hot cements, so be a little bit careful. So we'll start off looking at the turret. We've got a beautiful beautifully cast turret. It says here 2018 Meng, so it's all part of the new tool. It's got lovely texture on there. I don't know if you can see that in the close-up, but I'll try and get it in the shadows. It's got a lovely texture on it, really, really nice. Shame to cover it all up really with all the armour, but yeah. And then the hull, as I said earlier, looks very accurate to me on first looks. It's got this shape here, right, that's coming into a V, and it's got this shape here, right, where it's coming around without that extending out forward. I've got a feeling that maybe that should be slightly more forward than that, but hey, it's underneath, and all this is going to get covered up anyway with the belly armour. But having this shape here is good. And if you compare this, if you go and look online at the dragon kits, you'll see what I mean. It's pretty bloody awful in comparison for accuracy. So there we go. So that's very, very nice, and we've got the alignment pegs in there for putting our blocks in for the torsion bars. So yeah, very nice indeed. Bit of a strange hull design. You look at it on end, it's like a sort of bathtub with the actual pivots bolted on, rather than doing the German style or the Russian style of having a square and just having them poking through the sides. Don't quite know why they did that, but hey, they got their reasons. I guess it doesn't get clogged up with mud so easily. Don't know. Right, so let's start on the sprues. This is actually sprue D, and you can see we've got the actual main upper hull here, which is again got this beautiful textured finish on it. I will give you a close-up in a minute because I can see some lovely detail on here. We've got our side fenders here. This is the engine cover, which is my favourite part of an M60. I think it looks bloody awesome. Base of the turret there. And then we've got our grille areas with moulded on handles. We'll have to do a bit of work and make them look a bit more accurate. And then we've got some mountings here. This is our front mud flaps, and then gearbox parts there. And then we've got hatches here and some jerry cans or water cans. I never know what they are for the jerry cans or water cans. And yeah, very, very nice indeed. We've got no detail under the fenders, and we've got ejector pin marks, and we've also got it marked out A and B and everything for different versions for drilling out the holes. So but that's not really so much an issue because we have got the side armour, so you're not going to see up in there anyway. But we have got a detail on the back of those grills, so that's a nice touch. But again, as I say, I'll do the close-up because we can see there's some really nice detail on here. On the front of this fender, you can see it's lovely with the bolt and rivet detail, and we've got the cast texture on there. And I notice we've got the lovely 3 sort of mounting fittings, whether they're bolts or whatever they are. Really, really nice on there. Okay. Again, we've got the cast texture on there, and we've also got the lovely cast texture on the engine cover. Again, I'll go around these with a sharp point of a knife just to sort of make them pop a little bit. There'll be no aftermarket going on this whatsoever. It'll just be an out-of-the-box build for Steve's group build. So here we've got sprue F. This is our belly armour here, which is an add-on. And then we've got all our armour here. This is the armour plate. Oh, God blimey, that is very sharply moulded. That would almost cut your finger. And then we've got some more armour here. These are the side plates. Moulded ropes, which I love. Really nice. Lovely moulded texture on that, which is like a cast texture for the armour plate over the mantlet. Very, very nice. And some nice checker plate or cross zigzag pattern on that step plate there. Ejector pin marks on the back, but obviously it doesn't matter because none of it's going to be seen. These parts here, they've got detail both sides, so that's nice, and there's no ejector pin marks, so all nicely done. I'll just show you this close-up detail on here. You can see the finish on there is lovely, really, really nice. Okay, and that is that on there is going to take a wash and a dry brush and really look amazing. Really, really impressive. Not sure if all the little eyelets on this would have been painted red. Probably too early for that. So here we've got a wheel spindle. A wheel spindle? A wheel sprue even. This is sprue B. And we get 2 of these in the box. And we can see we've got our main road wheel tyres here. And then we've got our actual wheels. Now, you would think, great, we can paint these and then put them on afterwards, but you can't because the actual wheel rim is on there. And the reason they've done this is to get all the detail in and also get the kind of lip onto the edge of the wheel. So because the wheel's got like a lip in the edge of it. You could go down the aftermarket wheel route, but I really wouldn't. These are very nice indeed. You've got some lovely bolt detail, and the centre detail is lovely. But when they go together, you actually get like a return on there. So that's why they've done it that way, and it looks lovely. Machine gun there, which is really, really nice. Sprockets there. Again, thank you, Meng, putting the sprue nib on the end of the teeth rather than down in the root, which is a nice touch. So, yeah. All in all, very, very pleased with this purchase. Very nice indeed. Another sprue here, sprue A. We get 2 of these again. And we've got our torsion bars here. We've got our radius arms. As you can see, some have got the links on for the shock absorbers. We've got our torsion bar mounts here that glue into the bottom of the hull. Some lifting eyes and bits and pieces and greeblies. Return rollers there. Part of the basket, I'm guessing. Not quite sure. Then there's the other half of the gearbox there where it's going to come out to the sprockets. And then we've got our flanges there where the torsion bars are going to go through. And then we've got some beautifully moulded little handles and stuff there. Give you a shot of them close up. They're really nice. Really, really nice. And my advice there is cut them off with sprue. Don't try and clean them up. Glue them onto the model. Let the glue go hard, so, 10 hours, whatever. And then sand them down then. But lovely detail on those return rollers, as you can see. Excuse me. Got a bit of a cough coming, I think. Another little detail sprue here. Did we get 2 of these? I think we get 2 of these as well. This is just basically greeblies that are going around the turret and stuff. You've got our shock absorbers here, the ends of the cables, lifting eyes there, a spot lamp or a headlight should I say, and then some more lifting eyes, and there's the brackets that are going on the back of the basket. So yeah, lovely. Back onto the bigger sprues now. As I said, there's a lot in this kit, and this is sprue G, and this again is more armour plating with all the beautiful bolt detail on it. And this here, this texture on this turret plate is absolutely gorgeous. It is lovely. What a lovely, lovely kit this is. And the armour is actually made up in boxes, so you've got a front and a back. So as you can see, it's kind of, that's going to glue onto that. Yeah, and then you have this this double thickness great box on there. But the bolt pattern on this side armour is absolutely stunning. You can see all that there. Really, really nice. And look at the texture on that top of that turret armour. That's really nice. Really, really nice. Lovely, lovely sort of soft bag detail there. Beautiful. Lots and bits and pieces on here. We've got our 2 halves of the barrel. A lot of people will, oh my god, a 2-half barrel, but it's modelling, guys. It's glue 2 things together and get rid of the seam. It's not the end of the world. These are our marker flags for the side of our basket. We can put our Israeli flags on there, I guess, if we want to. Got our mantlet here. Here's our coupler ring. There's the cupola there. There's the lock for the barrel. Got the mesh on the back of the grill. A little bit of flash on there, but nothing to write home about. The size of the grill for the basket, and there's the base of the basket by the look of it. It's a bloody great big basket on the back of the turret on these. So yeah, really, really nice. And the detail on that barrel is very lovely indeed. You can see there with the clamping and everything, the clamping rings. Got the same on that side. I need to check my references. I'm not sure if that's correct. Were the clamping rings in 2 halves, or did they go round like a Jubilee clip? Should that detail only be on one side is what I'm saying. I'm sure they've got it right because they got Michael Mass on it, so I'm sure it's going to be correct. Something as simple as that. We've also got some slide moulding here, look, where we've got some little brackets and bits and pieces, boxes moulded with the slide moulding technology, which is nice. Here's the one you'll all go, oh my god. This is our track links, and they are very nice track links indeed. We've got no injector pin marks, very slight sinkage on them, but we're not going to worry about that. Lovely detail on this side, the armour cover tracks, Really, really nice, lovely, lovely, beautifully moulded. And we've got the rivets going in the side there. So these are going to be the same as the boot tracks where I showed you how you make them. You carefully push them in one side and then put the pin in the other to lock them. And I haven't managed to break them at all, so I think it's a very good system. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sprue connections on each track link. But then saying that, this one here, these 3 here, you cut these off, and then with something like your Infini 400 stick, you're able to just go along and do, you know, roll the stick around in a radius and get all 3 of those nibs rubbed down together. So just put a good documentary on YouTube, and or listen to one of my videos or something. Listen to me droning on, and then you can just do this while you're thinking about that, while you're listening to that, should I say. Got the pins here in the the six sprues, and what you do is, as we did with the boot, we're going to make them up in a jig. May as well do the clear sprue now. We're going to put the parts into a jig here, lay them down, put the top on, push those pins in, and then cut them off, and then take the assembly out. You only get 1 jig in this one, so you have to be careful not to damage it. But they are very nice indeed, and I think I have got somewhere around here. Okay, so here's the DEF model. Again, these are cooperated with Desert Eagle Publishing, WP12001, and these are Magach standard tracks. And they're if you look on the side, they're actually made for this kit, and there's a photograph of the real thing there. And you can see when you look at these are thought to be very good aftermarket tracks. And when you look at these, you can see, if I get you close up, you can see that Meng have done a great job in comparison. It was underneath there, you can see them then. Meng have done a great job in replicating the track links, because I would say they're just as good as one another. If anything, in the brown ones, the aftermarket ones, the holes there, the 2 holes either side of centre are slightly smaller. But yeah, they're really nice, usable, accurate tracks. Again, this is like I was saying earlier on with the Tyran build. It's nice to get these kits and not have to buy aftermarket, because it's all correct. You know, it's nothing worse than buying a kit for 60–70 pounds and then finding that the tracks are incorrect. So you get the correct tracks and then you haven't got the right sprockets, and it just goes on and on and on. This is that vinyl sprue I was talking about. It's very, very nicely moulded. You've got a bit of a seam here. I'll give it a go. I'll try and freeze it for 24 hours and then try and sand it while it's in its frozen state. But you can see there the actual material that's going around the mantlet there. It's really, really nice, really beautifully done. Yeah, really lovely. Glad they've done that. Some of the pipe work that Meng do, like on their Smirch, isn't so good, because you get a mould seam around the edge and it just looks awful. And I don't know why they do it on pipes that are just fixed in place. I won't get this one out of the bag. This is our small sprue. We've got a nice row of ammunition there, and then we've got our barrel here with a little handle on there, another one there with a handle on. So that's our 3 machine gun barrels. We've got this. I initially thought this had broken off the sprue, but it's not. It's separately moulded. So we've got the machine gun there, which looks lovely. That's going to be the 50 cal, I'm guessing. And then we've got the ends of the barrels are slide moulded. So yeah, really, really nice. Finally here, I looked at this earlier. I said earlier it was string. It's not. It's actually wire, which is probably even worse, because it doesn't really want to go to. Well, it's not so bad. We'll see. I'll see what I can do with it. But it's actually braided wire. You can see if I show you close up. You can see it's got the braided finish on it. I'd rather have the trumpeter stuff. I think it's a lot nicer. Small sheet of decals there. So we've just got our basically our insignia there. Nothing really much to write home about. And then we've got here a simple photo etch sheet, and we've got our casting numbers and division numbers, I'm guessing. I need to look at more detail. There's the base for the basket, and that's it. I mean, it's obviously not a lot required. I'm guessing the aftermarket will probably have, for this aftermarket sets, where you replace all those triangular grab handles. But what I would tend to do is run around them, get a brand new blade with a very sharp point, run around and scrape around the edge, and it kind of undercuts them and makes them look like they're on there rather than moulded on. And then we've got two lots of colour call outs, so I'm going to have to stand up to make sure we're not glossing out here. Yes, we are. So this one on this side is A, and this is the Tank 10 Gimel, 2nd Battalion, 401st Brigade IDF, near the international border with Gaza Strip. And I'm guessing that, again, that's 1998, as it said on the side of the box. We can see it's just basically the Sinai grey. And that's it really, Sinai grey with rubber road tyres. You've got the green colours on the smoke dischargers, smoke grenades. And then this one here is 9th Eshet Battalion, IDF in the centre of the Samaria region, August 1998. So there we go. What a lovely little kit. Very, very nice indeed. So that has been a review of, wherever the instructions have gone, that has been a review of the Meng Tyrannosaurus Series TS040 Magach 6B Gal Batash. Have a look on Wikipedia and stuff, and you'll see what all this means and what it's all about. Also quite interested, I learnt something I never knew. They built one of these afterwards, after they'd finished using them, the Macavers had taken over. They built one of these disguised as a tank, but it was actually a missile launcher. So it's quite interesting to see that one. But all in all, a lovely, lovely kit. Do I have any downsides to it? The pros are, it's not the green plastic, it's the tan plastic. Meng's green plastic, in my opinion, is awful. The moulding is very, very crisp. There are some of their dafty ejector pins all over it, but you know, they're nothing to just break off, but I don't know why they keep doing it. And another downside is this single, just the Meng AK and Acrovision colour call outs. I've never even heard of Acrovision. I'm guessing it's a Japanese or a Chinese supplier. And the AK paints, these MC, I don't like them at all. If they're going to team up with AK, why don't they use the real colour call outs instead of these paints, which are, I don't think they're a very good colour match for one, and they're not very easy to use either. So there we go, guys. That's the kit. And as I said at the beginning, I am going to build this very, very soon with Steve on his group build, and hopefully, well, not hopefully, maybe he'll even inspire me to have a go at a diorama. I don't know, we'll see. But I'd like to have this and something else. I've got a Macaver 3 with the mine rollers on in the stash. I've got a Macaver 1 hybrid. I've got a Nagmachon. I've got two Axorits. I've got the is it the M90, the self-propelled gun, the IDF one? I've got that one. I've got the Tyran 4, which you've seen. I've got the Tyran 5, the D90 bulldozer. I think that's, oh, I've got the Dragon kit of the Magach 6 without the modified turret, which is, yeah, forget it. So anyway, hope you've liked that. I'll see you all soon. Happy modelling, guys. Bye for now.